So, as I said, we are going to divide this whole NC section into two
Mm-hmm.
parts. Today,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to do a bit of more general, like how does it look like, what it is, what mastership is doing, and tomorrow we can go a bit in more detail. So, skipping to the good part. So, the goals and index I have set for today is we simply go through the why we are doing it
Mm-hmm.
and the course structure, how we define it, how what we were doing, software structure, how does it actually build within mastership. So you can have a
Mm-hmm.
bit of more general overview. And we will talk about some MC processes. We have different methods of doing it. And then more specifically, what we will be working today.
Mm-hmm.
So before going to the next, I think the first one is a bit goals. So as you're probably aware, this MC, the main part in shipbuilding, especially in larger shipbuilding, but we are most involved in yacht building. The main and the more focused one is actually saving the waste.
Mm-hmm.
Too much waste is definitely no one likes, and then
Yeah.
the training you should be able to make plate parts so you can make every plate part if you want, and then stiffener nesting. You should be able to generate NC code by yourself. You can export your plate parts to the next cutting company. And these days we have a lot of, if I being very honest, a lot of cutting company, you probably aware, they are using their own nesting software.
Yeah. That's
They
right.
are more advanced into it. Somebody is coming with a laser technology and so on and so on. But this general overview will give you, we have a couple of export options. So you can just export the way cutting company was, or we will see it along. So these four things can be the overall idea. So as
Mm-hmm.
long as at the end of the training you are able to do this, I think we did good well. But I think we will be following along if you have question and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm. All
So
right.
the course structure is defined into very small section of 2.5 2 hours and 2.5 hours. So the interview review of individual assignment, which we already started. And then in 20 minutes, I'm giving you more a detailed presentation of the NC software itself. And then we will start some exercises along. We will take a very quick break, and then again we will continue with the exercises. And then we have I assume you already have the access to our mastership manual. I was
Mm-hmm. Yep.
checking actually to prepare individual assignment, but I was pretty much convinced the material we had for nesting there. So I thought that those are the best thing we can have. And then that's it. As I said, today and tomorrow we are going bit of more general and nesting overview, and then tomorrow exporting, cutting code, and then process post simulations and so on and so on. So
Mm-hmm. All right.
then I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of the mastership software structure. So the mastership software structure, as you can see, is divided into four parts. I think parts you have a very extensive training from Kais already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Organizer, you are probably aware of it. Shape and MC.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are
Mm-hmm.
discussing about more shapes, and it's same nesting of plate parts and stiffener,
Mm-hmm.
generating NC codes. And these days it's very common actually to start with someone else parts. So we just get the parts and we just make the nesting in it. So the if I'm not very sure if Gais has mentioned before, the main actually and the strong part of mastership software is usually is you can enter and exit at any point of time. So the
Enter.
designer, the shipyard, they do not have to bind with us. So if they did a ship with us, they also have to do with parts. No, they can skip. If they have some expertise in other software, they can use it and they always can come back.
Okay.
We are more focused in building the add-ons, the plugins that can read other software data, and that can our data can be useful for that. So in
Mm-hmm.
this part, yeah, I'm also working on this picture because as you see, it shows separate, separate, separate,
Yeah.
but usually it's a bit more integrated way. But this work process, I think I also took it from, you can see it from manual page. And these can be extension. This is just also part of his workshop assistant. What it is, you have any idea what it is?
No, no.
Okay.
Only convert 3D model. Yeah.
Mm. So we developed it recently. And so what it is actually, usually when you visit the shipyard shed, you see a lot of 2D drawings hanging on
Yeah.
the bolts, and people are coming, taking the parts. Who are you? Okay, I find it, fix it, and so on and so on. So we came up with an idea to have this workshop assistant. So we then you don't have, you still can put if you want to, but you really don't have to put these 2D drawings in the shop floor anymore. You just put a computer in it, and this computer has a kind of we build a plugin to the Naviswork model. So workshop assistant. So what it has all the information, 3D construction model information of Mastership. So you simply go there and you have, okay, parts F1230. So you just go F1230. So the software itself takes you to the assembly and highlight it. Okay, I'm this
Mm-hmm.
one. Next to me at this part, and this is a distance to this part, etc., etc. So instead of 2D drawings, you are having a more a kind of a real assistant at the shop floor. Some of the we are building it very customized, so only few of our clients are actually in Netherlands are using it. But we this can be, I think, very much interesting. I am also having some ideas if we can put some, QR scanning and etc. So you have a snacker and then you do it dumb, and in the big screen you see what you're talking about. But this is a
Okay.
long way to, but these are just extension I put it. And other one is model exchanger. As I said, the best part is you can enter and exit at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So we build this model exchanger specific for one client, but yeah, we are also working on it. So it converting, make it easy for external communication. I'm not sure if you're aware of there is a drawing management tool. What the name is it? I'm forgetting it. So it's widely used in Fedship in here in Netherlands. So they have
Mm-hmm.
built this, and then they can talk a lot about with a lot of designers alongside. So this is, but these are just extension. I think we just give you. I want to give you a kind of an overview, but let's focus on NC today.
Yeah. Okay.
So the ANSI process, as I said, is relatively straightforward sequence of steps. So we will start from a finalized 3D model. So if you still have something to do with it, I think this is the process. You should never be doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
when you show the end 3D model is pretty done, and then you can go ahead with it.
Oh
And
yeah.
then you can, this is a very good thing is actually you have a very good utilization of Mastership project
Perfect.
database.
Yeah.
So why is it? Because when we were giving training of shape, when we are giving training of parts, everybody is saying, "Oh my God, too many database. We have to synchronize. We have to
Mm-hmm.
update, etc." Because
Yeah. That's right.
the issue is whenever you are going to the nesting, actually, you only mostly 99%, I think you are talking to the database.
Mm.
You're getting all the information of the parts, etc. Organizer is
Yeah.
talking to the database, etc. So this way in NC process, actually, you are more utilizing it than anywhere else. Then definitely these are usually the final deliverables that you can deliver.
Sure.
So the NC process within Mastership looks like something like this. You
Mm-hmm.
can start with
Yes.
nest parts that goes to, I don't know if you can see my arrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see here the nested
That's
parts, and
right.
then you can go to the pre-processing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can even define your cutting sequence, how you want to cut it. And then this is a very customized buttoning template if you have your own standards to follow, or you just want to proceed with Mastership standard or some industry standard. And then you end up with NC code that usually has go to the cutting company. And then you also have some NC drawings by yourself that
Right.
explain these kind of deliverables. So this is already, I assume, in the manual, but I just put it how the NC process within the mastership does work actually.
Continue code. Okay.
So I'm not sure how you did with the guys, but you can always stop me anytime, any moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
feel free.
I
So there's
mean,
no ending and starting off. It's very informal. So whenever you have question, doubts,
yeah.
just stop me. Okay.
That is what we did. I mean, in the
Yeah.
previous
And then
this,
you did
yeah,
it you did it from the mastership standard. So
yeah. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So then I think this is more or less explains. I also put it in the agenda because I'm very much interested to know how does it your current NC
Mm-hmm.
processes look like? Because
Mm-hmm.
last month, I don't know, you have pretty a lot of struggle with the NC, and then I put my Blue Sea guys with you,
Yeah.
and then I don't know how does it work out. So
Yeah.
I'm more interested than I think then we can a bit more customize it if needed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, I will go with NC overview and course material, and then we will do some small exercises, and that's will be it for today.
Okay.
So coming back to the next in line of my agenda, which is how does your this way, let me see. Okay, so index. So the agenda is to get you familiar with NC ribbons, how mastership is doing with NC, and then I will explain you the workflow we are doing within the mastership. And before we go for nesting, we have a NC function of configurations. So these are the small things you have to do before you go to your NC process. And then one is NC preparation that you have to set up. Most like when you are doing the NC, the best thing you can think of is you are doing it at shop floor.
Mm.
So when you have this mentality, you are going to be very fine. But if you are thinking from a designer perspective, I think this NC configuration probably sometime can be a bit strange. But it's very straightforward, simple, and then let's go on. So how does the mastership looks like? Probably you are aware of it. We have this very beautiful long utilities of functions,
Mm-hmm.
and where you can start with the, I assume you can see with this is modelize. Here you are making your preparations, creating plates, and you can edit some parts, you can import from other projects, and then you can start preparing your nesting and stop nesting. So these two things are actually make sure that you are not doing anything else. So when you set up your prepare nest, so when you're doing something else, it will stop you. Okay, you are in nesting mode, just do the nesting. You cannot move the parts. You cannot do much of it. You have to do within the nesting restrictions. This was built due to the reason that people are in nesting drawing and they are changing a lot of things. They are moving parts, etc., and they are playing with the database. So this is just a limitation, start and stop. And then we have three nesting modes, which is called, yeah, I think that will come along. So that's just familiar with this ribbon. I think you will be working with most part in first three, and then
Mm-hmm.
it came with pre-processing, then NC code, burning templates, stiffener plots, and export and pin jiggers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure in are you familiar with the concept of pinging in Malaysia? It's a very hot topic in China used to be.
Okay. No, no.
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody
not
is
really.
actually using it in Netherlands so far. So we built it specifically for our clients in China.
Yeah.
And I'm always
Yeah.
curious to ask people if they knows or if they're doing with it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you
So
can explain later on. Yeah.
yeah. That's I think good to know, but I don't know when you use it. So this
All right.
is again the numerical cutting code and to the project database, which I already presented you. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it works. Everything you are doing is linked to project database, and project database is also linked to organizer. It's not shown here, but believe me if I'm saying. So this all
Mm-hmm.
playing with the project database to give you information to get and so on and so on. What comes next is configure nestings. This is very important usually when you do it. So before you start nesting, before you import parts, before you start
Mm-hmm.
doing what you want to do, well, you first can come here and select your configuration. So here are few things that I all first you have to go through. I think when you're following the exercises in the manual,
Mm-hmm.
every section, everything is detail explained. So I'm going to give you a broad overview when I'm doing nesting, when our people are doing nesting. These are the things we are actually looking in detail. So the
Mm-hmm.
first come is resolutions. So you can see the resolution here.
A
Uh,
resolution.
Here it's a nest property and you can see resolution. So in mastership we
Okay.
have from fine to
Uh-huh.
coarse.
Uh-huh.
And then this is a from fine. If you select zero, it's very fine. Then medium. Then what does actually it's mean? So
Okay.
when you are selecting fine zero resolution,
Mm-hmm.
it's mean you are making going a bit more precise than anything. So here you see the parts is surrounded by this outer length is almost impossible. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
go for medium, then you have a bit of resolution. So you're cutting. So the more coarse you go, the more time, the more accuracy it will come. So
Okay.
there is an NC part in it, and when you are cutting it, so this is also I shown it. How does it look like? And if you select your resolution as 2, how does the nesting will look like? If you
Mm-hmm.
select your resolution 6, how does the
Mm-hmm.
nesting will look like? So, and also the interesting thing is when you select resolution 2
Mm-hmm.
and how much actually you waste. So you
Okay.
decrease the waste, the more you go precise. That's very logical. And the
Mm-hmm.
more you go, okay, I just want to cut it and you go for resolution 9, but
Mm-hmm.
now your waste is a bit more. So
Oh,
just
okay.
an idea you can select if you're laser cutter or etc.
Mm-hmm.
So you can select your resolution accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing come the distance between the parts and distance between the plates. So how you want how each part should be
Mm-hmm.
distance to each part, or
Yeah,
how
yeah.
the parts should be distant from the plates.
This is
That's
quite
also
important actually.
yeah, this is a very much up to you. How do you define it? Everybody has different understanding. Somebody is saying this is standard. Somebody is saying we set up initially, I think, from some industry perspective, but now we make it more generic. You select the way you want to, and that's it. So in here, actually, you can see more things. Like, yeah, these are very
Mm-hmm.
common where you want your process to be exported and how you want to convert to some radius, inland length. I think that's well came along.
Mm-hmm.
And simulation speed is usually, and the interesting thing is settings, I think. So you can
Setting
work with the
level.
setting levels, which is this one in the top. So
Okay.
one is user, one is company, one is project. So you
Uh,
can define. I will show you in the demo. That's no worries.
okay.
So what does actually is seen is if you are working as a user, like you will start your manual training. So
Mm-hmm.
you can select as user and you can play with it. You can say, okay, distance between parts is 30 and 20 and 50 and so on and so on. But maybe when you are working on a project, so then you fix it. Then you say, okay, anybody who is opening the NC drawing, he should work as per the project setting because that's we define. And
Ah.
sometime there are some company standards. So when you define your company standard, but then nobody is going to change anything. They have to work with it. So this is just a customized level of working
Mm.
along. And then I think we will cover it, I think, when we are having the demo. So the first thing comes with the preparation. So the preparation usually go with this part
Yeah.
that is create plates and then edit plates. And we
Mm-hmm.
have 3 nesting modules. You can start with manual, like you are an expert,
Manual.
you know how to do it. So you
Yeah.
just go with that, or you go with semi-automatic. You
Mm,
select and do some automation, and one is fully automatic. So we most of the time, I think 90% or 80% of the time, we are using automatic.
yeah,
So
that's
the
right.
so the program is filled in that way
Yeah.
that it's cover a lot of things, but even sometime it's still the software. So if you think no, you want to adjust by yourself, so you first do automatic and then adjust it with this with with the information you have and so on and so on. So that's more or less for the issue I think we had, because
Mm-hmm.
this is more or less the agenda, if I remember well, for today. And we are going to have some start, I think, right away to the exercise. So we are starting from a pretty
Blank.
new drawing.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
say this is a new project as I show you here. And then the very first thing is usually comes, you go for your NC preparations. So how
Yeah.
you are going to do, go to mastership and you start with your options. So that's where you came with this general
Okay.
mastership tools,
Yes.
shape generator, parts generator, and this is what I showed you earlier. So
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
is NC generator, and then yeah, for training purpose, I'm usually keeping it for 6, so you don't have the worst are the best.
Yeah.
You can select your color plate parts how you want it, and then this. So this is like how you want your parts to look like, or how you want your plates or rest of the materials to look like. So we are using red and green, but you have all the selection you want. So as this point, as you see, if I select the
Okay.
user, it's keeping you the distance between parts and plate is 20,
Mm-hmm.
and distance between parts is 10. So you
Mm-hmm.
cannot change it more or less. So now I
Okay.
want go to project. So suddenly you are able to change it. So you
Ah.
can
Oh
see,
yeah.
okay, 20 or maybe more are up to you.
Okay.
And then when you apply here, it will save in project. And when you go for the company,
Okay.
it's again, you can fix it. You don't want it,
Uh,
or you
you
want
cannot
it, or
fix
so on.
anything.
So we just go with the project
Mm-hmm.
and this identification drawings. Yeah, where you want to export your things. And then here it comes along with what kind of cut length, so
Mm-hmm.
on. And this is a lot of information. I think we can spend
Yeah.
2 hours
Yeah.
on it, especially. But in
Yeah.
the manual, it's detail explain. And if you find any trouble, we will cover it as well. So you simply just apply. So you know your configuration is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You press OK, and now you go to NC. So to before start NC, first you need some parts.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
Yeah.
some parts and then you want to nest them. So here, usually in the manual, if you see when you
Mm-hmm.
click the NC drawing, they have
Mm-hmm.
the parts already there.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't put it the parts itself because I wanted to do it with you. So here, if you go, you can start import parts from the drawing. I click OK, I want to import, and now it's asking me from where. So I
Mm-hmm.
just go to the this training model. I just say select folder, and I'm also selecting include the subfolders and all, and I'm selecting almost everything, whatever you have. Or I just want to even say, I just want the material which is maybe steel, aluminum, etc. You can filter your results because
Mm-hmm.
if I'm selecting the whole project, probably I will have 10,000 parts.
Yes, that's right.
But sometime you can select a project and you just want to cut the maybe superstructure and just want
That's,
to check. So you can just select the material here, aluminum, etc. But if you have that one in the project, since we don't have, there's only steel parts. So we're just keeping it, and I will ask generate results. So now what is happening in the background? So the software is going to the project database, it asking to synchronize all the things. You can see the process here.
mm-hmm.
So it asking, okay, how many parts it has, where they are in frame, model parts, stiffener, etc., etc., etc. And when
Okay.
the scanning is done, it will give you a kind of overview. Okay, I found this much parts. They have this much identification, blah, blah, blah. Now, what do you want to do with it? So then you have some time. Okay, I just want to cut these parts. You can insert all and filter it out. But
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Yeah, it's usually take 1 minute as I'm connecting with the server, I think. So it's taking some time. So that's also the reason you keep synchronizing your project time to time, because it happens when you are
Yeah.
in NC mode and you did
Mm-hmm.
not synchronize at all, then this
Some parts
process
might
can
be
take
missing.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
So it
And
also
then
depends on the, yes, please.
yeah, sorry. And then what's the purpose for there is four I mean how to show the one is what material and the
Yeah,
thickness,
yeah,
and then the other one is a plate. What's the purpose of that one?
this one.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Usually when you are selecting the parts, so either you can have material that's, I think, clear, and then when you creating the part,
Mm-hmm.
there is also sometime can come as a plate indication, is it a parent part or not? So when we go to the NC, I think I will show you how does you can also, when you connect parts to parts, you can also
Mm-hmm.
connect plate to plate.
Okay.
So
Plate to
inherent
plate.
plate, I think, yeah, let's cover it up.
Okay.
What is this plate for? This, I think other one should be okay. So this you
Mm-hmm.
can
And
select
then the
when you're,
section number is for the production unit, right?
yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
this
Okay.
this is coming from you. This is when you're
Yeah.
creating the parts. This is the information you are actually
Yeah,
filling.
yeah. Okay, let's say if we create production unit, let's say we have a mid block and then we have aft and then forward, right? And then at the mid block, we we spread to another what is it called? Production unit also can be detected in here. Oh, we have to type the section. I mean, for this section number. Do we have to type or it automatically can detect it?
In here,
Yeah.
yeah. So if when you are drawing, when you're making the drawing, when you're creating parts, there you are putting manually, maybe section 40,
Mm-hmm.
and then you move to the off part. Then you said, okay, section 52, section blah blah. So maybe in your when you are designing, you have 10 sections in there,
Yes, yes,
right?
that's right.
And when you come here, you can just select. If you don't select, they will give you all the parts which has in those 10 sections,
Mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm.
maybe you just want the section 2. So then here
Uh,
you just click
just
section
click
2,
into.
and then you only get the parts from section 2. So in here we have only one section, so you're only getting the
Uh,
option of A1A.
mm,
So if we have four sections, 1A,
mm,
2A, 3A, 4A, and then 1A is from this
yeah,
frame to this frame,
understand.
this frame. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because in my case, I have to type this section number in here, you know.
in here,
Yeah, there is no other option. So I had to type, let's say block one, block two, block three. Yeah. So I kind of wonder if, yeah, this one a bit different. Yeah, I had to type what plate that uh what plate that I need.
I'm not getting it because
Yeah,
yeah, if you
that's strange.
leave,
Yeah.
is it, I'm not sure, is it a software issue or is it because when you creating a part, you have a
Mm-hmm.
part, you said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's create a part, and
Mm-hmm.
it gives you a window. It asks you, okay, what's my name? What's my
Mm-hmm.
thickness?
Yeah.
What's
Yes.
my this?
Yes.
And it gives you a kind of a production unit information. So
Yes.
you are saying what here?
Wait a second. Let me show you something.
Yes, please. I think that would be helpful.
Uh, uh, okay.
or maybe I can find a project which has multiple sections.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe tomorrow.
But yeah, but this is I'm pretty sure. So if I open any drawing from this project, they all will have this section number 1A. Maybe this we can check right away, just for our understanding. So I'm
Okay.
going to the
Uh,
frame and I'm just opening. Yeah, you also go on. I think you're finding something. So let's see who comes first with what.
okay. Um, Let me show first.
Yeah.
Where's the drawing? Okay. Okay. Let's forget about this one. So, okay.
Okay.
When I try, okay, then I choose import part, right? So, suppose you see, we have one plate, and then only block two, and then still, of course, yeah. Uh, my question is that I cannot select other plate. So even though I have uh, various plate thickness,
Ah, okay. Okay. So in
yeah,
your NC drawing, you have the plates of maybe 8, 10,
yeah,
12,
yeah.
13,
Uh,
14.
uh,
And when you are making what was this dialogue?
uh, part
This
selector.
is part selector.
Mhm. So then I go to, suppose I go to the
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's okay.
frame, right?
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, then still, yeah,
But can you generate
yeah,
results?
yeah, I can generate. Let's say this one I generate about block two. So this
Yeah.
one, the same thing. I have to type if I want to generate other block. That worry me because
Okay.
I might,
Okay.
I mean, I might have different block or whatsoever. So let's say I generate this one. Mm, I think nine is, okay, let's go with it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's find out. This is interesting. So,
So I have a few a
so
number of
you
plate here.
so you
So
have
let's
all the
say,
which a thickness
yeah,
of 9.
yeah. All is this one is a nine, right?
Yeah.
Nine,
Yeah.
and then it is in block two. So, so
Yeah.
means that my selection is correct.
Okay.
Uh, Something like that, and then we do insert.
Insert these parts.
Yeah, just a few part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Yeah, maybe the part is, where does it go? Hmm. Yeah, I don't get the part.
Right there.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, I need to start with
Did
the
you?
new drawing, but it's okay. Yeah, that is my problem.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe I already know your concern, but let me see it.
yeah.
I think
It,
this is
it,
more
I mean,
important.
if something like this happen, I might how to say this one, miss some plate thickness, right?
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
take, yeah.
yeah. Okay, you just hold a second.
Yeah, never mind.
Can we have a 5, 10 minutes break?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Okay, I will follow up.
Yeah, it's okay.
Shall we continue?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, then to this. So please help me here.
Mm-hmm.
So what you are saying, uh, at this point, you are importing the parts, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't select anything, it will import
Mm-hmm.
all the parts.
With 600.
And and if you select this, it will only import the parts with steel have thickness of 8.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So where is an issue? I still trying to figure out actually. So you think if I select this, I will not get the parts which has thickness of 8 or what?
Um, no,
Or maybe your question is when you have done the nesting,
yes.
then you only want to see the parts with 8 or maybe the parts with 10, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
right.
it's not before, it's after the nesting is completed and then you want to see which plate has the thickness of 8 and which plate has a thickness of 10, etc., etc. Right?
Mm,
Or no?
no.
No. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me show you again. I think
Yes,
now it's
please.
better. All right.
I think that was a very good question, but I'm trying to figure
See,
out
I
what's
think
actually.
this. I think this one could be. Is it a software problem or I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably, but
Yeah.
let's find
So
out.
okay. Let's say. Yeah. Here I choose. This is my current project. Okay.
Hmm.
I just show you the 3D right now. Okay, then we open it. So it's everything is there. So I try to uh, choose this block two, and then maybe 9 mm plate, and then I go to NC pop up. Yeah, you can see here. I don't have any. Let's say first I have to go to model, right? So yeah, choose frame. Okay, and then okay, material of course steel, maybe the material, and then for thickness, you see here, I don't have any other option for plate.
Okay,
So
okay.
so I so I,
Wait. Can I request a control?
yeah,
Let's figure it out together. So you're
uh,
going to import parts.
mhm,
Okay. And then you are saying you go here into your
yeah,
projects.
right,
So
yeah,
I ask you not go there, just go there. And then this is your project, select
right.
folder.
Oh,
And then
you
you
mean
have,
the main folder,
yeah,
the
it
main
wouldn't
big
hurt.
folder.
It
Ah,
wouldn't
okay.
hurt. So you have now just this one.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Of course,
Okay. And
everything.
then you have 8, but now
Hmm.
you are sure there are some parts which
Yeah,
have more
yeah.
thick. Okay.
Multi.
So what we can do, I will go with this, select this all off. I will explain you if it works
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I will go and generate result. And let's see. I think I might have an answer right away, but let's find
Yeah.
out.
See.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the reason is that I might missing some part if yeah, you know.
No, no,
Uh,
I think it's just a way of working, maybe, if I'm correct.
okay,
But if we find the solution, then it's way of working. If we don't find the solution, then probably it's a software issue.
okay,
But yeah, this is a very logical, yeah, remarks. But let's find out. By the way, how was your training with Blue Sea? I don't know what was it. It was some
yeah.
question answer or what? I don't
Yes, that's
understand.
right. It just question answer. I asked them what how to first is I mean to do the. I'm hoping that they will explain like what you did, but no, but it's okay. They just show me how to create shell plating.
Shell plating, okay.
Yeah, shell plate. But yeah, since that time I didn't record it, so perhaps we can go through again maybe tomorrow.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you have some question for the shell plating also. No
yeah. I
worries.
mean, just to show me how it done.
Okay.
Okay, shepherding, and then I asked them how to how to find the once you nest the part, right? How do we find the part? which plate that it goes to.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that one can consider as a report, something like that. So try to find the part easy for us to make a report.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
but he
you
showed me
have
that one is not no problem. Yeah, that one I can get it right now.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
problem
That's
you
it.
have with the shell plating. So you want to
Yeah,
know the
yeah.
process,
Self-report.
how at
Yeah,
overview it looks like.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. But
good.
since at that time, I mean, he didn't show me from step one to the end, so
Okay,
it's
okay. No worries.
messy.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, this
I'm
one
trying.
take a long time because it's quite a big.
No,
I
no
mean, a lot of.
worries. I think we will cover it in 10-15 minutes. That's okay. It's very straightforward as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the issue is we are very much hardworking. Then they should be able to even give the training in Chinese. So I speak a bit Chinese, but I don't speak the
Uh-huh.
business Chinese. So
Okay.
I have my graduation actually from China. So
Okay. All
so
right.
I speak a bit. Conversation is fine,
That's good.
but how to explain this nesting, these parts, this construction, this marking line, and so on and so on. This is too
Mhm.
much difficult and too much different than what is in conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
no,
mean, have you other than us, did you have any client from Malaysia as well?
no, that's
You,
I discussed with Peter when we
uh,
in contact that he was our
uh-huh.
first client.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
we
maybe.
have, yeah, yeah, we have been active in India, in China.
How
We
about Singapore?
used what?
Singapore.
Singapore used to. I asked Shak, that's a director, that he said
Mm-hmm.
used to. We made some visit, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we sell only nesting software, I think, to there and to Japan in
Mm-hmm.
90s or somewhere. But since this Corona came and 2007 crisis came, oh my God, we have been shutting down our offices there.
Oh, too bad.
And yeah, and then we just focus into the Dutch market and then Chinese
Ah,
market.
yes,
So
yes.
because the Chinese colleague are with us for 15, 20
Mm.
years and so on, and then
Oh,
we just focus. But well, yeah, we have always been open end that let's find out, and then
mm,
yeah, Malaysia was the good entry,
yeah,
and then let's see. It depends how your experience is
yeah,
going on, and then
yeah,
because that's very important because every region has its own expectation,
yeah.
own way of working, and when you can fit it to their standard, that's really important.
Yeah, because all the construction drawing right now, we done it with just 2D. So yeah, we try to improve ourselves. We make a 3D and then everything convert
Right.
it to
And
2D drawing. Yeah.
would you be willing if I give you maybe tomorrow 10 minutes overview of our workshop assistant, what I'm talking?
Yeah,
It's
sure, sure.
really a workshop tool, but it has nothing to do with NC. But I think we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
literally cover in a 5-10 minutes demo that what
Mm,
I'm saying.
yeah.
That's actually the idea is removing the 2D drawing from the
Mm,
shop
mm,
floor and
mm,
putting a smart computer there people can talk, people can get the
mm.
information and so on and so on. I think it will be nice. Let's cover it tomorrow.
Okay.
Web shop assistant. We have 88%.
Yeah, I mean, just just in case in the future you are doing some training in Singapore or Malaysia, yeah, please invite us
Yeah, that's
so that I
we
can do it again. Yeah,
yeah
from
yeah yeah
zero.
Yeah. That's actually very useful when giving you my personal experience when I joined mastership. So somebody gave me training, and then when some colleagues, a new colleague came and they have some external training, I always find, yeah, when the training is happening, maybe I
Yeah,
want to sit. I just
yeah,
share me the
because
link.
yeah, doing it online sometimes the connection is a problem. Like last time
Yeah,
we gig, yeah, I always have this online connectivity problem.
totally agree.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
not easy to communicate because I mean, the term might be different. So, uh,
But when you are
right,
there on the same desk, I think it's very easy to go
yeah,
to
that's right,
check the
that's right.
model and then so
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So, are you freely can move between China and it's still restrictions of COVID?
Yeah, now we are, I mean, Malaysia is a bit okay. Maybe China, not easy to enter right now. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think I will talk to Peter. We have some options, I think last year to discuss further, but yeah, I have to follow up.
yeah, okay.
Tomorrow, I think this whole week I will be busy in Germany and I
Uh,
just don't want to postpone this training anymore.
yeah,
I
that's
said,
right.
no way. I said, okay, let's do it. And then, but yeah, the good thing, actually, I agree. Uh, let's find out. Love 3%.
So, like you said, just in this case, you have to select the main folder. But
Yeah, so there are actually two things.
hmm,
One, you can select the model folder
model.
if you
Mm-hmm,
want, it's
mm-hmm,
okay. But usually you can press the main folder and then
mm-hmm.
you can here check the include subfolders. So it will
Okay.
scan all the folders that are below that.
So,
So when you
okay.
are checking specifically that folder, maybe there is a chance you have some part somewhere else, etc. But it's the same thing actually.
Mm-hmm.
So just to go, okay. So this we can see now. So you have parts of 8,
12,
9,
8,
12, and
12.
so on. So on. Okay. And then here you go and you want to select. Now you will have different. Now you
Okay.
understand
Yeah,
maybe. Okay. The question
yeah.
here actually comes. So when
Okay.
you generate the results,
Huh?
then this is going to be also updated. So
Ah.
what happened before, you usually have 8 only, and then you
Uh-huh.
say, okay, only check here. So
Uh-huh.
that's maybe the problem.
All
So
right.
whenever you select generate results, it's going to
The C
also, if you
block.
see sections, you will also see different blocks.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's clear now.
yeah, it's more or less, I think, playing with the database. So when you
Yeah.
press generate, it automatic update on the bag,
Mm-hmm.
and then these filters are become active.
Ah, okay,
So if
interesting.
you keep, yeah, there was a very funny joke actually when we were cooking. So it happens when we are cooking something and we take a spoon to
Mm-hmm.
test. Ah, okay, so it has less salt and we put salt and we again check and we put salt because we are checking the same spoons. So,
Yeah.
so we are checking. So it will always remain with less salt.
All right.
So when you are adding the salt, you have to make it new and to check it. So this was more or less happening here.
Okay,
So,
get it.
but I think that's covered more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then do let me know if you still have some question to it. I think
Yeah. Okay.
that's
Yeah, it's clear
so
now. Yeah.
so far it's okay. So
Yeah.
I will
So
share
we
my
had.
screen.
So I have three blocks. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
you can build 10 blocks if you
ah,
want, and then whenever you generate results, you can always see them here.
okay. That's good.
Uh,
You can then go to your
yes. So
okay.
this is here, and I think yeah, more or less you have seen most of the things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also going to make it a bit rough. I will say
Mm-hmm.
this is okay. And then Okay. Currently Shazad will let you know. I think this is, I opened the part separately. So import part, as you have seen before, my all the scanning is done.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just say, oh my God. But yeah, as I see your process, I think you are much advanced than I am because you have probably get along with the model, etc.
Yeah.
And this plate, since it's synchronizing, I would like to go actually to check with you, manual. Then I'm going to check this right away. And then it's going to be, let's find out. See, so getting selecting parts for netting. So this was it. This was okay. I think it was in construction drawing. Yeah, no, let's leave it. I will come back later, I think. Okay, so we are here, and as you can see, we have all the parts with different
Mm-hmm.
thickness and then
Mm-hmm.
steel and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So you just go and put insert part. You have to select. So you usually select all,
Select all.
and then 116 parts. You are going to put them into your drawing. Yep. I don't know why you did just block one, block two. I think it's always because usually we have this production unit one, production unit two, three, but I think it's very logical. Sometimes you give names.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe you have a kind of a decoding list already that what is
It's
block
okay.
one. Yeah, it's okay.
Block
Easy to
one
work.
is, I mean, in our term, which is it could be uh, to make shipyard more easier. They sometimes they choose the block according to the
Okay.
let's say mid section and then forward. So
Perfect.
this forward sometimes they separate into two. So it's better for them. I mean, it's easier for them to put block one A, one B, something.
Okay, but maybe also nice if you can
Yeah.
make some decoding list and what is
Mm-hmm.
block one. So block one is equal to frame one to frame seven, etc.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it's bit more
Yeah.
dictation
Yeah.
because when I hear block one, I don't know where you are actually
Which
having
one?
it.
All right.
So
All right. All
when
right.
you
Yeah.
create a decoding list, maybe it's more nice. Maybe we should also add it
Okay.
to in our
Okay.
software to
Okay.
have
Yeah.
a bit more dictation. Okay,
Yeah. All right.
so this is 169 parts inserted, and this is all the parts we have.
Mm-hmm.
Just stupid parts. Now the first thing is creating plate. So you can create some industry standard plates and then this identification can go from 0, 1, 2, 5. So this is a plate number. And now you want
Mm-hmm.
thickness and length the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just put something like this. Remarks is just for yourself. If you have material, you can select. This was I was talking parent plate ID. So because this is a first plate, you cannot add, but maybe you can also add two here. So what does this mean? When you are
Mm-hmm.
when you are maybe yeah, how can I say it? When you're cutting the superstructure and then you want all the plates to be connected to each other. So you will have maybe 100 plates and then you want to make sure that every plate is connected. So when I put this plate ID 2, which mean the plate 5 is connected to plate 2. They can see the relation. So these two plates will have the parts that belongs to maybe each space. It's just a very, I think we will cover in when come to the second plate because it's a very fast.
Okay.
So this is data is just for yourself if you want, single-sided multiplex and so on. And here you can select multiple, or you can select only one plate. You can put maybe, let's put 6 plates, and you want to put it in 2 columns, 3 each, and you can select some spacing. And then you say, okay. So now you select where you want to put your plates. I select here, and then
Mhm.
these are your plates created. And now we have created a plate. If you can see a bit here.
Mhm.
So it's showing you the information you put actually,
Mhm.
which number it is and so on and what material
Mhm.
it is. And before we proceed, now we want to let the software know these are the plates and these are the parts. So here we go to the prepare. So it's when we select this, it's also giving the nesting software a kind of a, okay, it's your time to start now. So when you click here, it asks you select parts and plate to nest. So what you can do is simply select everything you have, parts and plates, and then you click enter, and it asks you 21 parts doesn't match the initialized thickness class because now we have select the thickness of 8 only, and in the whole project maybe there was 10, 20,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So it's asking you, I'm going to only take the parts with thickness 8, or maybe the thickness you have selected. So or there is no parts which doesn't match to the initial material class because all the parts were steel. We have make the uh, plates of steel. So this is done. This is also showing the same thing. You said okay, and now it's creating a contour and it's showing. If you can remember, these colors are coming from the configure of nestings.
Mhm. Yeah.
So this is happening. If you can see here, it's preparing parts. I cannot
Red color.
zoom it.
Yeah.
So it's going to every parts. It's checking its outer contour. It's getting more of information and synchronizing with the plates and so on. So it's just a preparation that okay, I'm ready.
Mhm.
I know each part's length, each part diameter, each part, etc., etc. I know the plate limiters and so on and so on. So now it's asking you, okay, turn off the layers. Now usually you say no, so it you can see everything. This is done. So now you have, so when you can actually nest, just make sure these red turn green. So when they are
Mhm.
black, usually you are not in a stage of doing it. So here we have now 3 nesting program, as I said, automatic, semi-automatic, and manual.
Yeah.
So just go with the maybe manual first. So in manual, it's straightforward. You just click move, click parts, and then you put it here. Oh my God, what happening? Indicates the part. What indicate point and part, and then uh, this is strange. Inline, we select an outer line. Very, very strange. So if I select is to the rotate, does this command is working? Indicate the point. So at this point, rotation point is this. Hmm. So the manual somehow strange. So move, indicate point and part. This is this. No part detected. Yeah, let's come out later. So if I go with the manual ones,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we we don't use that much since we even don't even have clue why it's not working. Strange,
Okay.
but it should work. But it should
All
work.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's yeah. So when we go for the semi, I think it's again same story there. Now first part must be solid. I'm not sure.
Semi-automatic is how does it work?
Yeah, yeah, that is just, I think I'm missing some parts here. So indicate points and parts. This is the parts. Indicate point on the other part, plate or hold. So I'm going to put it in here. Maybe here. Okay. So in this one,
Hmm?
you probably, yeah. So in manual one, so what's actually the main difference between those two is, I think I understood. So in the manual one, you are simply moving it. You say from
Okay.
here to put there,
Yeah.
maybe here, and so on and so on. So every time you move, you have to come back again to move, rotate, attach, delete, detach. But in semi-automatic, you just initiate the command,
Hmm?
you select on parts,
The
and you
part.
go and select the point in the plate and press OK. So it will take back to here. So
Mm.
let's say I say, are you ship part nest? So if you want to keep it here, you can say, okay,
Yeah.
yes. So it's there. And now it asks you to select another part. So now you
Mm.
say, okay, maybe this part and maybe this part. And then it asks you to select, indicate point on other part, plate or hole. So where you want it to be
Right.
nested. So
Yeah.
you select, okay, put it here. So another you want to go maybe. Yes, it's good. So every time it asks you, it
Mhm.
is good or
Yeah.
you want to change, you said it's fine. Now it asks you, okay, take another one.
Mhm.
So you can take this one bracket and it asks you, okay, where you want me to put? Okay, put it here. And then it asks you. So when you are actually putting it, the
Mhm.
software itself actually giving you the maximum where you can save your material.
Mm.
So in the manual, etc., it's a stupid, we cannot
You,
show. In the manual, you
you
have the
have
full
to.
authority. If you
Yeah.
say the bracket, you will put in the bracket in the middle, it will be in the middle. So I'm going to actually um, try to do the manual again. Let's hope for the best. So in the manual, I'm now going manual nesting. I'm moving one part. So I'm moving this part. So I select this one and then I'm going to select it here, maybe. Okay, there we are. So it's working. Okay, okay. What was the problem?
Mm.
I was so when you are doing manual, you always select the solid. Okay, anywhere in semi-automatic also you select the solid. So here it's stupid. You can never nest it. You know,
Yeah.
it's outside the
So
plate.
you
But
so you have to rotate it,
yeah, so you have to
arrange it.
rotate and so on and so on. And they ask you indicate the point and part. So I will say, okay, I will take this bracket and it asks you where you want to put. I will say I want to put it here, you know. So
Mm.
wherever you say it goes here, but in semi-automatic, it still try to find where they can save material and where it can be good for you.
Mm. Okay.
So that's so why we actually have this move, rotate, and this one, and you can also align, actually attach some parts. You can say I want to
Mm.
attach maybe this part.
This
So
part
maybe
and
that part, select the first part and select the second part. No, too far. Okay, so first you can
yes.
do is you can take this parts and then maybe you put it here. And then you can say, I want these two parts to cut together. I will say attach this part with that part. Maybe this part. Yeah, this still is too far. I think there is, I don't know what we selected in NC configuration.
Mm.
So you usually have this kind of move it that to here, maybe this one,
Okay. Okay.
and then you can select this one to cannot join this part, invalid combination. But this is more or less the ideal situation is. So you
Mm-hmm.
can detach, attach, but you should never ever use the AutoCAD command in it, because when you are using the AutoCAD command, they are, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they are not very much linked to these. Uh, so when you are using these moves commands, so
Mm-hmm.
they knows A4800JHS is connected to this and it has inside this plate and so on and so on. But when you're moving normal AutoCAD command,
Mm-hmm.
that's problem. You will lose this associativity. This is the very typical, but
Mm-hmm.
we always, that's the only reason we have this prepare and stop. So let's say if I want to just say move AutoCAD command, it will stop me to do this. This will ask me the action is prohibited due. So you cannot use most of the AutoCAD commands because you are in the nesting space and you should
Mm-hmm.
only use these two, three
Three.
things.
Yeah.
But unless you have a plate thickness of 35, 40, and so on, where you think you have very much high skills, I think you go for manual or you go for semi-automatic, but not really, really recommended. We usually use this automatic. I think you have already used it. So you just go with this automatic and then you can say, is it all plates? You want to nest all plates at the
Mm-hmm.
time, or you say one plate at a time. So they will fill all the
Exactly.
things in one plate and go to the next and so on. Or you want to say, it's a last plate.
Uh-huh.
So in the last plates, what's main the difference is when you select all plates, the software get the parts and it try to fill wherever it's find suitable in the plates
Mm-hmm.
and it's done. And one plate at a time, it only focus on one plate. It fits all the parts that are needed. And when you say last plate, it started from the more or less from the left. So it's try to use the space as much as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of space available. So you don't waste much of your
Yeah.
material.
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of going to the corner and coming to the center, it
Mm-hmm.
started from one section and then so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So usually we say it's all plates and then I'm selecting all the objects. That's done. I say enter and now you can see, yeah, the screen is too small, but you
Yeah. It's
know
okay.
the software is itself, I
Try to
think
arrange it.
probably, yeah,
Mm.
try to arrange it and then they are putting it inside. It can take some time, but I think very detailed exercises is already in the manual. Then they give you exercises related to all plates, one plate at a time, last plate, and this move, align, rotate, attach, delete, detach. So, and this thing, I prefer to keep it as an home exercise, but let's find out. Okay. So maybe you notice when you prepare your nesting, it turns
Mm-hmm.
all the plates to green.
Mm, yeah.
And then when you start nesting, then it's taking parts from here, which are red
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
usually, and then they are putting in, they're trying to find out the best
Mm.
thing they put,
That's.
and they make it green as well.
Mm.
So it's, usually it will tell you how many parts they try to fix it, how many left. Mostly the nesting is only, I think, the power of computer you have. So the more you go and depends on the course you want to use, depend on the distance you want to use, depend on
Mm-hmm.
the on a lot of other things. But let's out. And in the meantime, let me check one thing for you. You can see, go through this. This is also there. Yeah, when you click, you will get this. So you already will have parts which will nicely fit to these things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is automatic. And yeah, when using automatic nesting last plate, so it's
Mm-hmm.
sometime giving you, okay, from where you want to start first. You can say, okay, choose this direction and it will put parts from here and then keep coming and coming and coming.
So okay, so we have to choose from that. Can later you show me this
This?
last slide, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mhm. So probably it's done. And then I'm going to create just for your last plate demo,
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
plate, and I will say plate number this. It has a thickness of 10, maybe. I don't know if we have more parts for 8. So this remains okay. I'm just going to create one
One plate.
plate and then I will say, okay, and there we are. And then I will say prepared, standard procedure, everything. Uh, that's okay. So no. And now I'm going to call it automatic nesting. And then I'm going to say last
Last plate.
plate. And then it asks me which direction you want to start with.
Okay.
So maybe it's depends on you. You want to fill from here to
Mm-hmm.
here, from here to here, up and down. So we usually say from here. So when I click this, so now the software
Ah.
know from where it should start. So I'm just giving you a bit of more and maybe this. So select objective like this. And then you can see here maybe how it will start when I press the
Mm-hmm.
button. It started from here
Mm-hmm. To the end.
and then yeah, through the end. And yeah, now we have too many parts. So usually
Mm-hmm.
you save these parts of the
Ah,
plate.
okay.
And when you say from here, it depends on how the shipyard cut the plates and how the shipyard
Mm,
actually
yeah,
is
yeah.
saving. So usually that is,
All right. All right.
and
Yeah, this one is also quite good.
yeah,
Uh,
usually you
command.
have
Yeah, yeah. Because you
sometime a
have to.
part is missing
Yeah.
and then they have to cut whole plate just for that part.
When I use manual, right? Manual, and then the other one is all plate. Yeah, it start from all these edges of the plate and then go to center. So sometime I have a lot of empty space on the
Yeah,
center. So
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, so okay, this one help a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and also when you have actually the empty space, you can use always the semi or manual
Yeah,
one if you think
yeah,
you can fill in.
yeah. That's why
But
sometimes I have to use this manual
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and quickness. But quickness is, I mean, I read the manual. It's not recommended as
No,
it.
it's a very quick and dirty things to just
Yeah.
visualize. So whenever you know when you can actually use it. Sometime you are making a quotation, etc. I think, and then you want to just see how many plates, what kind of
Uh-huh.
material they have to buy, and so on. So you can come up with a quick and dirty number. But
Okay.
probably, we always say go with automatic with your own um, configuration. What the between parts you want to choose, what the plate, what the, these a lot of things depends on how your day-to-day routine is.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say, okay, we are going for laser cutting and we are making a 2 millimeter, a 5 millimeter distance, then you're
Mm-hmm.
losing very less material. But yeah, that's probably not doable. You cannot even cut it. So you just don't want to make a nice drawing, but you also want that is more producible for you.
Yeah.
So that's here. And if I see it, I think that's more or less we plan it for today to just general introduction and then yeah, preparation and modes of nesting. Tomorrow we can go to the other parts, but I would like to have your some question remarks you have, which I'm not sure if you're still struggling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, all right. Marking, Stiffener, bracket.
you can ask and I can quickly answer if you can
Mm.
find them in manual or not. So, so that's
Okay.
that's
Okay. Uh, my question is that okay. How I've seen I saw a YouTube video, yeah, done by, I mean, you guys, um how to do this part name. Let's say if you want to go for the part name, right? Uh,
mhm.
and then because there is a production unit, okay.
Okay. Shall I make
Uh,
a part maybe?
maybe you can go to an exit button. Now I think you have to go to ship ship express. Okay. Okay.
Let's hear. I want to make a part. Let's do it. Yes, no worries. And then I'm saying select entities. Then I'm saying it. Okay, this one.
Not this one. Mm,
You can show or control my screen,
yeah.
or how do you want?
Okay. Can I control?
Yeah, yeah, that's I think. There you are. Yeah.
Okay, because you need to present the, I mean, yeah, if it like this, it's a bit messy to the shipyard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then I choose this, the free text from part.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and we select part. Uh, okay, so here both or data.
Okay.
Okay, and then part ID instead of part data block. So
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yes.
and then also show PU.
Yeah.
All right. So in this case, we don't want to show any PU because you already indicated.
Okay.
Okay. So now, yeah. Okay. So this one is quite strange. Maybe because you didn't put any
Yeah,
production
yeah.
unit in
Let's
here,
say
right?
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But in my case, uh, it still create a production unit. So I had to delete it manually.
So when you select this, it's like you didn't select the production unit, but it still shows you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show here.
Yes, I think that would be the nice thing to see.
Okay. Import part. let's say frame. Okay, say frame. Okay, still block one. Uh, so I
Cannot see
say,
your screen, by the way.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me share it. Okay, so let's say I just do the normal. Um,
It.
let's see. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So this is my part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I select this create plate. Let's say one. So let's say one standard size plate eight. One. Okay. Then okay. Okay. Let's say. Okay. Then prepare. Select these two. Uh,
Yeah.
we can use yes. Then automatic or let's say I use this one. Distraction. Select object. Then stop it. Okay. Okay. Then we create the part name. So
Yeah.
wait, like this one, free text. So here you can see I have a block one, right?
Correct.
Okay. And we choose go on both. So we need only part data here. And then yes, ID, put ID text instead of block. Okay. Yes, and then I don't want to show any view. Yes,
Layer. Layer.
yeah,
No. No.
let's see.
It
Still I
still
have
shows.
this.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That explains. That's
So
software.
so you can see if you have so many yeah,
Layer.
parts or
Yeah.
you have to everything.
Layer.
But in the video, yeah, it's quite good. So I don't have to. They don't have any this production unit. Yeah, that's
But yeah,
quite yeah.
when you are selecting, you don't want to show. It shouldn't show. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay.
So after we done that one, so everything will be look like this. So yeah, you can see the text.
Okay.
I mean your drawing is not that
So
good
you mean
information.
when you make the nesting drawing, it doesn't show, right?
It doesn't show.
So
Uh,
when you say you don't want to use the production unit,
mhm.
so you can see in here in white. So when you make a nesting drawing, it will still
Mhm.
be there, right? You have to delete it
Yeah, yeah,
manually.
yeah. I have to delete it manually, just like this.
Okay, okay,
Uh,
which is not
uh,
nice, which is not nice.
yeah,
Okay,
maybe.
clear.
Yeah, if you have any, I
I
mean,
think that's a
correct way.
that can be a very easy fix actually. That's no
Uh,
worries. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Maybe you can
clear.
show me. Yeah,
It
if you
has
got
to
time.
fix
Yeah.
it has to fix from the software, which I'm aware, but let's find out something with this. I will share my screen.
Okay.
There you are. So we have selected, I don't have on the production unit, but
Mhm.
usually, are you aware of these commands?
What is that?
Maybe let me show. I have to stop this nesting dude. So now it's like this. And then I can just show some parts, or I can show now. Let me see. You can. Turn it off, turn it right. Hmm. But clear. I think I have to work on it.
Mm,
So this
yeah.
is typically a software. So when you're not
Mm,
selecting it, why it's showing? Yeah,
mm.
that's it. Another thing.
Okay, that's another one. Mm, mm, second is the this one to be done. Okay. Um, missing part. Mm, let's say you forgot to. Let's say you forgot to. Uh, uh, let's say
You
you forgot to put one part in the production unit, right? You forgot to put the part in the production unit, uh, and then let's say how to say this one? Let's say you have a big bucket, then you forgot to put this production unit, right? But
Mhm.
then when you do the nesting and you do the and then you realize you're missing something. Okay,
It's
you're missing,
like
yeah, missing that bucket. So and then you try to bring that part to the nesting. Uh, I mean, but you have to edit the part first, right?
so it's mean you have make your drawings, your parts, frame, etc. And every parts, etc. You put the production unit into it. And then when you are nesting, you realize there are some parts that
Let me
belongs
see
to that
that
belongs to a
production unit.
production unit, but it doesn't have those details in it.
Yeah.
So now you want to
So
know how
now, yes,
how
now,
you can add them to that production unit.
yes,
Okay, so your
and then
answer,
bring that part to the nesting uh, nesting
yeah.
nesting flag. Yeah.
So one thing is that coming through my head is usually you have to modify the parts.
Okay.
You have to add to the production unit,
Production unit. All right.
and then you generate results, scan again. So it will not come
Oh, scan again.
automatically. So
Uh
when you
huh.
scan again, when you update the database, so when you edit the part, so the edit part, is it in the drawing? So when you say synchronize drawing, so they will put this edit part into the project database. And when you are in nesting drawing, then when you say, okay, scan again, so the nesting drawing is again scanning this drawing with the project database. So maybe
Okay.
the new database is available, etc. So it's always recommended whenever you are doing the nesting, always try to scan it. Maybe there were some updates done by your colleague or somebody else, etc. So you always using the latest model. There are some thing happen in the past when people are working and they think everything is done and they just start nesting, but somebody just changed something and they didn't synchronize it. So always synchronize it, scan it before you
Okay.
go into the nesting phase.
All right. Let's say, and then after that, right? We select everything. Does I mean when we select, does the I mean does the part that we select before will be selected, or just that particular part will be
Okay.
entered in the
Okay. So you mean is if you have 10,000 parts and you
mm,
forget
mm,
maybe three parts,
three part,
so
yeah.
when you are scanning, will you have all the 10,000 parts and then those three, or you only have those three?
Mhm.
Good
Or
question.
yeah, let's say yeah, and then let's say we select 10,000 part, right?
Yeah,
Then we enter okay. Does the I mean will it select
I
the
got it.
whole,
I got it.
yeah.
I got it.
because
Yeah,
because
yeah,
this one will create, let's say if we select it will create more part in the plate.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah.
Like you have done the nesting for 10,000 parts and you
Yeah,
forget three parts, and when you are getting those three parts, will have only those three parts, or you will have to worry about again 10,000 parts?
yeah. Then
Yeah, yeah.
then then we had to redo again.
I assume you only will
Testing
have
and
those three parts. I think
right.
when those three parts are added to it, you can see them as new or something. I can test it
Mm.
myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, how the mastership treats the new added
Mm.
parts. Yeah, but yeah, that should be only those parts. So whoever
I'm
is in the yeah,
because I'm asking this question because it happened to me when I do other nesting software. So yeah, to be honest, I have to redo it from zero again.
okay.
Just to rearrange everything. Yeah. So I hope if this one not happen to mastership, I'm better.
This is very helpful because for software, it's easy to know which
Yeah,
are the new parts
yeah.
and the new
So,
added
sometimes
parts.
sometimes you already arrange. I mean, most of the plate perfectly, right? Then you only missing three part. Then you have to redo again.
It's very good to check. I assume that's how it is,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but
All right,
it's
all
a
right.
good for testing. It's very good for
Mm-hmm.
testing to realize, and I believe and I'm sure it's a very quick fix because that's it. You have any other thoughts?
Wait a second.
So, software training, the rest of the part, and most of the time, I think what we did yesterday, we just do.
Okay.
Just do it. We just make the plates, and then yeah, these days software, as I said, cutting companies are doing most of the thing by themselves. But yeah, it's good to know the software itself. So the rest of the agenda for today is what is pre-processing. So before we are actually creating the cutting code, we have some pre-processing information that we want to make sure that it's going smooth. We can define the cutting order, how we are going to cut the plates if we have the information. So you can do it manually, or also you can ask the software to decide. You can set your in leads. So when you have laser cutter or flame plasma, so you can set how the end lead is actually touching the parts or plates. We will go through with the cutting code preparation. We will also discuss how to generate the NCC code, how to generate for parts for stiffener, and in order to check the NC code we prepare or the NC plate we prepare is actually looks nice, or how this will actually be cut when it will be at shop floor or with village cutting company. We will have small simulation for that that will show us how the part is being cutted. We will also go through a quick one, the exports, how we can prepare for the cutting company so they can use this data for their code, for their machines. We'll go with the burning templates. This is just a customization of bit if you want to add a couple of in leads, more information about your company or some moving text, etc., etc. And then in the end, we can have a quick look at the pen jig, what we are calling pen jig. It's also a good thing. And as we discussed yesterday, when the time is left, we can also go through this workshop assistant and then shell plating. One thing I must say, we will be going in smooth. So wherever I think the time not allow, maybe we can do it next Thursday or Friday, because today is a bit of my very metrics agenda. I have to leave a couple of meeting in the afternoon, and then I
Mm-hmm,
have to leave
mm-hmm,
Germany
mm-hmm.
for my exhibition. But
All right.
I hope we can cover it all.
Yeah.
But once we left it there, I think we can follow up later this week and next week once you have more question and so on and so on. But let's focus on this.
Yeah. Okay.
So what are we? So this is the MC pre-processing. So we have two mode for the pre-processing, that is manual and automatic. This is more or less we are generating this data for the cutting company, how they will do, and then again adding leads, editing leads. So how what kind of in leads the cutting company has. Usually they give you information they are going to cut the part at 90 degree and so on and so on. And then pre-export of data, as I mentioned. So the next thing will be coming as a NC code. So we will create numerical cutting code and we will check the numerical cutting code of with a very easy simulation, I think. That's it. And then the burning template, how can we create one? We can play with some copy text, multi-leaders, par data leaders. As I said yesterday, when you are at NC, you are actually not using the copy, move, and other
Mm-hmm.
commands to just
Mm-hmm.
make sure. So these are most of the thing are doing that part actually.
Okay.
So then I will go through also a bit how can you create some stiffener plots if you have. So in Mastership, we have a very, I think, easygoing command. If you have, let's suppose 100 stiffener or so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So with the one command, it generates all the production information for all the stiffeners at once. So if you want to see, you just can go through. So we will also go through how can we create that and how can we read the information. The next and last part is coming creating parts to DXF and yeah, plates to DXF. So how you are actually sending your information to the cutting company? You're also using these DXFs or
At the moment now, because I don't
yeah.
know this function
Hmm.
at the moment. So what I did is just you you saw the nesting that I did yesterday, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I just send them
The-
the
and
drawing.
they do
Yeah,
the rest.
yeah. They have to. I mean, they have to do they have to do manually. They have to
Okay.
because when you do the nesting, not nesting, pre-processing, right? Normally I use automatic.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and
yeah. That's
then
that's the best part, I think.
yeah, uh, because it will convert into block. So I think what they did is they just unblock it and then
They play with
yeah,
it how they
yes.
want. Okay, okay. Good, good. And the last thing we can go with the pin jig, and then pin jig is usually to guide the hull shape. So this is
Mm,
very typical, used to happen in China. So
mm,
then you don't use most of the time molds, but
mm.
they have this kind of pin jig, and then you can
Ah,
adjust some information, and then you can play with it. So
I see.
out of all the years we have been, we
Mm-hmm.
never use it. So only sometime I think in back in 10 years ago, I don't know. I'm just making up my mind. So only some Chinese client when they have
Mm-hmm.
used it's a very old technology, but it's still there. So
Mm-hmm.
let's
Mm-hmm.
that's it
Okay.
more or less. I think we can start where we left yesterday. So this is it, and I'm going with manual. It's asking me to select plate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's asking me to select the objects. So I want to say this is my
Mm-hmm.
first part, and then up to me, I say, okay, next is this, next is this, and then next is this, so on and so on. So whatever you give the direction, it will
Mm-hmm.
automatically
Follow.
generate these blue things are the
Mm-hmm.
in leads. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you said, okay, that's done. So it's there, and then you came along with no, I don't want, I want this place to be cut first. and then later. So I think there are various, this is mostly, I think, to play with. So now you can also edit. So you can define by identification if you remember the name of the plate, or you just say selection. They ask you to select your plate and you say, OK, I selected, and it asks you, OK, so at the moment here you are, what you want to do next. So as you can see on the window, you have a couple of options. So if you want to rotate this in leads, you just press plus minus. So if I plus it, it can go rotate in this direction or in
In
that
lead.
direction. And if you say, OK, I want to cut my plates from here, and then, OK, you want to check what's next. So just press N and it's go there. And then again, you can select and again, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just if you want to play with it and you want to adjust your cutting. So there's actually detailed information in the manual. So when
Yeah.
you are actually selecting the mastership, it's selecting almost every parts to be cut from 90 degree from perpendicular to here. So it's the most realistic one. And then you can simply say it here, auto place in lead. Then you don't have to define by yourself. So you just say, press this. You can say, this is my plate.
Mm-hmm.
And then any job done. So it will automatically place all the in
Mm-hmm.
leads to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first,
Okay.
but the pity will be how to show you how the damn this is done automatic. So let's I think stop it and then prepare the eighth one. So if I say prepare my this plate against these parts, okay. Yeah, usually to give you a kind of an overview, pre-processing is just checking by yourself that how the plates at the cutting company will look like and so on and so on. This just to playing and reconfirming your information.
Mm-hmm.
So this time it's done. I'm going to put all plates and I'm going to select my this one and this one. And this time we will create the automatic in leads pre-processing. But I'm not sure if you have already done it or not. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Normally in Malaysia, we only prepare the nesting, but not include how the shipyard uh, uh, do the, I mean, cutting. Yeah,
Okay.
the cutting processing, the cutting process is done by shipyards themselves. So they have to arrange. I mean, how the inlet were. I mean, how where
Okay.
is the inlet start? Something like that.
Okay.
So
So
what?
then just take it for, I think, a learning purpose.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
that's right.
how
That's
it's
right.
done. So yeah,
It's
probably.
okay. It's
Okay.
okay.
Understood. Clear. Yeah,
It's good to know.
most
Yeah.
of the time we also do the nesting, and if it's a very state-of-the-art shipyard, they
Uh-huh.
have their own
Yeah.
softwares and so on and so
Yes.
on. But
That's right. That's right.
yeah, we usually, but this is always good to see actually, to
Mhm.
see how
Yeah.
actually it's happening. Maybe it's very old. I'm not so sure.
Uh,
I
mhm.
didn't see the latest nesting software by the cutting company. Maybe that's a very good thing to do. I don't know
Okay.
what I did, but I didn't do anything. So we are here, and
Mhm.
then we will ask this time to go automatic. It asking me to select plates. I will just select these all plates. Okay. And then what happens?
Yeah. It's already done.
Why
It's done already. I think.
it's already done? I
Yeah.
don't see it.
If you click, can you click? If you click and then it's already in block, then it's supposed to be done. Ah, see? Yeah,
It's not done.
not done.
Why I don't see it?
Oh yeah,
No,
you can
it's
try
not.
again.
Yeah, if I say stop nesting, maybe I see.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, you have to stop first.
But I also don't see it.
No, no, and then you have to do the automatic.
Then I'm doing it again, and then I'm selecting the plate, and then I'm doing.
Yeah,
Uh,
now,
Now it's done. Here
yes,
you
yes,
see.
yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, because it has, I think the good part with is this one to see. If I select this and then this, because you have to have small parts to actually see how it's going.
Mm-mm-mm.
So then it shows you how I'm cutting the parts. I think for the next one, I want to give this one because then it's very easy to see the simulation of how it's happening. Because if it's just like this, you will not see much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just preparing for the next section. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's keep it that way. So that's how it's done. And then this is again, you can play if you want to edit the cutting order. Okay, this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually export this pre-processing data. So usually why you do it, it's more or less, I think, says the definition. So export all the data generated with two files. So it's create, I think, three
Mm-hmm.
files. Let's read it out. I think that's nice. So use plates. I will say, let's say it all.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, that's interesting. So now it has created some files and then the files are there. So I can put you my this screen. So you get these are files just now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can again, as I told you last time, the before you go to your NC process, you should always go with these kind of things. So it's asking you this. So preprocessor, where do you want to export?
Mm-hmm.
So at this
Okay.
point, we have selected the main folder, but it's very bad to do this. Actually, you always make
Mm-hmm.
small folders to make sure your information is there. But yeah, so if we have now these kind of information,
What information that we have in C?
yes, so this is more or less the NST is the nesting file. So I can open it for you and then we can see it. So then this is, yeah, the plate number and it's
Mm-hmm.
giving you the length we give, what kind of
Mm-hmm.
thickness it has, and then what kind of part it has, and the direction it's going to cut. We will see
Mm-hmm.
it in simulation, I think, more understandable way. But this is just for yourself. And then this marking lines information, I think we don't have any marking lines in it, but let's see. So you can also have that which part has the marking line, and then this is about the outer contours, each part's name, and then where it's going to start at first and how many
Mm-hmm.
it will
Point.
create and so points and so on
The
and so on.
it's
So
the
this is
point
just,
for the cutting.
yeah, yeah. So it's just to read this information. We are still actually working on it because we want to present in a more very presentable way, because at this point they don't have definition. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are a typical naval architect or designer, then you can read probably what is happening. But yeah, at this point, it's just a file. Usually you just send it to shipyard if they ask. And then because these files are actually being used for the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just export your data, and sometime actually shipyard is asking us he want the cutting order. and that how the cutting order was defined, or how then my nesting file looks like, or how, because if you know, the cutting machines, they read the data in 1-2 format, so they are not going to read your drawings. They are
Mhm.
going to read probably this files,
Yeah.
and even maybe, yeah, this one or this one. I think that the
Mhm.
cutting order is also very important. So where
Mhm.
it go first, second, third, and so on and so on. So those information is probably for them. And if you simply now say, okay, this is done, and you want to now create a cutting code of it. So it's just milling or marking code for this, depends on the machines you are doing. So straightforward, just press create code, and it asks
Mhm.
you, it detects how many plate I have.
Right.
So it's okay, 1, 2, 3, and let's say I don't know which one is this. I want to see. I just want to focus on this one. So this is one.
No one.
Yeah. So let's create the cutting code for one, and then I will say okay. So this is again
Mhm.
exported. Depends on the selected. So this is it. So in 38, I think, yeah. So it gives you again three
Mhm.
files. One is this is again
The code.
typical, yeah, the code. It's going to start from here, and then okay, good luck with it. Then it's going to cut that part, and then so on and so on. See, this is all the part information that you
Mhm.
can send. This is why I ask what information you actually send to the shipyard.
Mhm.
And usually you can overview of the plate. Okay, this is plate number one. And yeah, this is marking length. I think we don't have this information in our one. We can
Yeah.
have this cut length, I assume. Yeah. So then this will be the rapid length number. I'm not sure what is this rapid length. Oh, to check. This is also something I think you can get your information. These information actually Mastership software itself
Mhm.
using when you are doing reports. So
All right.
when we will create the reports, actually you can see how much waste your plate has, or how much you saved, and so on and so on. But this is just sometime for shipyard to see before they can process your NCC. At very old time, we only send most of the time this information, the
Mhm.
NCC code, and they can just put it into their software with 1, 2, and tada. So now let's say you have created the NCC, and then you just want to see how does it look like, and how the shipyard which actually cut it.
Mhm.
So then you can actually put your own simulation. Let's say you are doing this for the shipyard, and then they can check how does it goes. So you simply go to the simulation NC code,
Mhm.
you press OK, and it asks you select your plate, and then this is 01. You say OK,
Mhm.
and then you will have this kind of dialog.
Mhm.
You can select the simulation speed. Let's keep it slow, I think, for now. And it asks you to, yeah. So when I play, it will start doing it. And I'm going to make sure you can see it. It's okay, right?
Mhm.
So then it's starting to see, it's starting to add. So how this they are going to actually,
Mhm.
this used to be the time when actually, yeah, most of the, how can I say, most of the responsibility is on the
Yeah. Yeah.
designer head. So he just don't want to miss that how they will cut. So they are actually giving you a kind of, you can play with the speed if you want. You can say, okay, I want to make it a bit fast. Then these are the inleads, parts, it cutting
Yeah.
the maximum. Let's see. Usually we are doing it actually. Even the shipyard is asking this one, but just to
Mm-hmm.
be on our safe side, we still just small holes they are cutting. Last plate simulating. So this is job done, and how we are actually have it here. We should have moved this one, I think, a bit. I assume we are not in NCC. Yeah, it looks ugly, but
Mm-hmm.
it went well. So I think after this
Mm-hmm.
information, when it's done, now you have to export it because you have done something, but this is not something you can play with. Then there is very information, as I in start said. You have plates to DXF or parts to DXF, and probably you have multiple plates.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just say, okay, I want to export this information for the shipyard. Just click this, and then it's going to read the drawing, and it asks you, okay, dude, what do you want? You can select all plates, and it asking you, I found zero plates. So
Maybe we
plates,
should go to the plate that we nested just now.
this is the plate we nested.
Uh,
Oh,
that
oh,
is a
this one.
simulation.
Ah,
Yeah,
sorry,
maybe this
sorry,
one.
sorry, sorry. So, okay, I was where? I was at the simulation. Okay, so you can select the plates, and then do you wish to change the export location? I don't know where this export location I choose, so I will just say yes. So I'm going to do the nesting of DXF parts here. I will say select this folder, and then join plate parts and marking line. Okay, yes. And first plate country with the maximum. Yeah, that how much deviation. It's again depends. No worries. So this all information we should have available.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, what I choose is nesting.
Testing.
So it gives you all the information. So if you have a kind of a nesting of, let's say, 20 plates, and then each has 8 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 10, 13, and so on and so on. So you just go along and you want
Okay.
to see 8,
That
and
that
then you have
interesting.
the DXF. Sorry.
I mean that interesting. I never done this one.
Yeah, yeah, but it gives you some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in here they ask us the DXF.
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
So when they ask you the DXF, then in order to prepare, you just press one. So you can also do it, I think, using AutoCAD, but then you have to play with it.
In my case, I have to spread. I have do it manually. I have to spread the plate thickness manually.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you, but
So,
here we have two
so it's,
plates. Usually when we press this command, you can have maybe 10, 20, 30 plates with different thickness. So it automatically allocate them.
mhm.
And then you can also
Can
set.
we see the product?
Yes, I think that's even nice too. Where are you, my friend? So let's open this one, and
Mm,
I will say, so this is exactly what we had, but in DXF.
all right.
And it's just giving you a kind of,
Does it come with the plate number, plate identification?
it's, I think it's just added to the location
Oh,
of
yeah.
the file. So it's asking you plate number 4, 8 millimeter thickness of this. This is the plate 914 divided by this. and this is the number one. So it will keep increase. If you have a lot of plates, it will go N1, N2, N3, N4, N5,
Mm-hmm.
N6, and so on and so on. But the interesting thing is this is for plates. You can also go for each parts. So you can, let's say you want to convert your parts into DXF. So it's asking you to select the plates and parts. I will say I want to say yes, because I don't remember where I selected this one. So let's say this folder. No. And then there you are. So it has also created all the parts. So now you also have per parts in each side. So this is for plates. And if you open this one, it will just show you per part information. The pity is we do not have much, but usually we create 200, 100,000 something at the same time. 8 millimeter. I think this was different, but this is just for the, I think how they request it to you. It has, yeah. The interesting thing I wanted to show you here was, as I mentioned, that was stiffener plot. So the stiffener plot is usually getting all the information and then it's making a more production available. So if you just click here or run the commands, it's up to you. So you simply go and say stiffener plot. So it asks you where do you want to export. So now you have to select where do you want to export your all stiffener. So you can just click this. This is empty. And you said select this folder. And now it asking you information. This production unit, we have only one. And then asking me the customer name. I will put, let's say, Naval Arc. And then so now it's going to the database. It's trying to find what kind of stiffeners are there, etc., etc. And then it's putting them, as you have seen with MasterShip, everything start with P is
Mm-hmm.
actually a stiffener.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also check this directory at the same time. So here are things are being added. So every stiffener is being made as a different drawing. So let's find out how these things are being happen. Yeah, but how do you actually sending your stiffener information? You sent it.
Uh, Stiffener information because for the current project, the shipyard will do their own. So yeah, I don't send them any information. I mean, the stiffener, but only the number of stiffener that they use.
Okay.
Yeah, but some, I mean, our American project for our American project, yeah, we do need to send them information, something like what's the length, how the streamer
Okay.
and card. So this
Yeah.
one also help a lot. Last time I do it manually,
Yeah. 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 Here,
everything has done manually.
as
Yeah,
I show you, you just click in there and but just always make sure you have an updated database.
yeah.
So it gives you information. So created 79 stiffener plots. Now you go back and then you just want to see small icon. I think what is nice one to see, maybe this one. So this is all the stiffeners it got from the database itself, and we can open one like how does this look like? So when you're sending this information to the client, so it will automatically put everything like this.
Mhm.
So it's giving you top view, off view, side view, 3D view. Yeah, some dimensions. This is
Mhm.
actually when you are creating the stiffeners,
Mhm.
this is always we suggest to the client, because sometimes they just say, okay, just one bar enough, because they said we will do later. But
Mhm.
when you are defining actually that time, that's very
Mhm.
useful because you are automatically
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
this information at the end,
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
and then small details, etc. So this is about actually which computer you are using, but the customer name and small thing you can just add by yourself. It depends. You also have some, what is the post number it is, what type of it is, its weight, its length, its extra length, its mirror or not, and so on. This is very good information actually, even if they don't need it. But if you send this,
Can we change the title block?
yeah, of
Let's,
course, of course, of course.
yeah.
So this is coming because I'm using my own company
Yeah.
settings.
Yeah.
So this is because of that. But if I just say I expect when you run
Mm-hmm.
this command,
Mm-hmm.
you will have your own company block.
Yes.
But it's good to check, or maybe you want to try it now or later. It's up to you. So you can edit block editor. So when you're here,
Mm-hmm.
I think you just can replace it. That's no
Ah.
worries.
All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So you replace it with your own.
Okay. Okay.
This card changes. Yeah, rest of most of the things are totally automatic. So we do. If you think there are something to be changed, etc., I think feel free to come back. Nobody has ever come back with any kind of information so far. So they just press it, and maybe they have 1000 stiffener, etc. They just
Yeah.
send it as a file for them to see if they want to use
Mm-hmm.
it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So this is with the stiffener plot, and
Skip.
then we